Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. The Richest Man in Babylon, George Carlson. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. You get my drift, right? If you like reading such books, then I think, and you're trying to achieve some sort of a mileage in whatever you're trying to do, I think you should read this book first. It's called Everything is Fact by Mark Manson. My name is Eugene and welcome to Goodreads. Today we're going to talk about God value. Now the reason why authors like Robert Kiyosaki have sold out their books on financial intelligence is to feed a certain craze of anyone can become a millionaire in our generation. But before we get there, there are examples that I would like to ask you about just to express to you what God value means. Do you believe that Cristiano Ronaldo would like to be a footballer even if it didn't come with the fame and fortune that it has brought him? Do you think Pablo Picasso would have wanted to be a painter even if nobody noticed his works? Do you believe that Wolfgang Mozart would have still identified as a pianist without the fame and fortune that it came with? Do you think that Bishop T.D. Jakes would like to identify as a priest without the glory and the fame that priesthood has brought him? Now those are very fundamental questions, including Churchill of Churchill Show. Do you think Daniel Ndaboki, aka Churchill of Churchill Show, would have wanted to be a comedian, devoid of all the deals and the riches that it has brought him over the years? Ask yourself that question. Now, what is the commonality here? These people believe in something. They want to identify as something, devoid of the fortune and fame that came with it. Daniel Ndaboki just wants to make people laugh. Cristiano Ronaldo just plays football. I used to love Ronaldinho because of the charisma that he had. He looked like he never wanted to win. Whether they win or they lose, he just enjoyed playing football. Now, I want to believe that Bishop T.D. Jakes would still go on preaching the word of God without the fortune and fame that it has come with. So I would like to ask you a question. Can you separate what you want to identify as from the material gains that it comes with? Now that is the fundamental question that you need to ask yourself. Okay? What would you devote yourself to? What would you build a faith system in? What would you worship without expecting any form of returns in the first place? What would you identify as? What would be your mortality project if it didn't bring you anything in this lifetime? Now that is how you build your own religion. Okay? You need to have a faith system, something that you devote fully to, aka religion. Whatever you're trying to become is at the foundation of your value hierarchy. It has something commensurate to a God value. Now, if you're in Nairobi right now, I'd like to bring a certain example home. If you're in Nairobi right now and you have come across a certain crew, this group is usually into MLM. And the youth of my age, you know what MLM is, multi-level marketing. If you go to these seminars, there's music, there's a speaker. First of all, there's no product visible in the place. It's just people listening to music, seminars, shouting mantras. And once you're out of there, you feel like you can conquer the world. You can become anything that you want to become. Now, I went for these seminars. I'm speaking from experience here. I went for these seminars. The first one, I felt like, wow, it's so easy to become a millionaire. Wow. Okay. So the second time, this is how all things work together. The second time I went there, that morning, I was reading a certain book by Robert Greene. It's called 48 Laws of Power. It's quite a common book. Now, this book, the law number 27 says, play on the beliefs to build a cult-like following. So that day I went there feeling like, okay, thinking about that, play on the beliefs to build a cult-like following. So I went in there more conscious, more present, and I just couldn't be drawn into the mantras and the excitement and the shouting of figures. Somebody was saying, 650 million, let not this figure scare you. This is something that can be done, okay? And I refused, I don't know, somehow in my entirety, I refused to be drawn into that. And so I looked around me, left, right, and I looked and I saw faces, desperate faces. Oh my God, they were worshiping something. And the person preaching there, he has a God value, okay? And so this question, somebody asked a question in the audience. How do I start? Okay, that was a newbie. How do I start selling? So the answer was from the supposed expert was, start with your friends and your family. And he said, what if they don't buy in? Then he says, it might cost you your relationships. That is the expert responding. It might cost you your relationships, but you know what? It's worth it. And that's when I realized, wow, these people would actually trade the most important things to them as long as it brought them money. Money had a God value, okay, to them. And at one time, also in another story, somebody from another religion told me something. That, do you know that our religion is the only legitimate religion on earth, and you Christians are pagans? Now that it struck at the very root of my existence. And that is what you need to identify. Once you have identified what you actually want to become, if money, the money game is something commensurate to a God to you, then you can go and read The Richest Man in Babylon. You will reap everything out of that book. And as a matter of fact, you might not even need to. Because once money has that God value to you, wealth creation is what you'd like to devote your life to. You'd like to devote your faith to, has become some sort of a God in your life. You will not need the law of attraction from Napoleon Hill or the compounding effect. In fact, you won't even need to meditate, because this is what will be at the wake of your dreams each and every day, okay? Because it is what you have identified, and whenever you think about that thing, you feel at home. You will not need to be trained on discipline or to read books on discipline. If fitness is your goal, trust me, nobody will be waking you up. You won't need to read a book on how to run a marathon. You won't need to read a book on how to exercise. You will be waking up every morning without any of those tips, okay? You will dedicate your life. You will not procrastinate because you have devoted yourself to this. So all you need is to identify your God value, ergo, your religion. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click like and to share it, because in the coming episodes, we are going to be talking about value systems and value hierarchy. So please do not forget to subscribe, okay? So today, what you've talked about is about God value. Once you have that, then you can achieve anything that you want. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.